I hope recording started.
Yeah, yeah, your mic is off.
Yeah, you are muted.
Stress and even happiness also, uh, so that people can if people can put in questions or any suggestion they want, it would be helpful. And also uh, I found like the Gen Z or the generation who has born like between 1997 and 2012 is more likely than other generations to report poor mental health, negative feelings. But I believe there could be a all different age group people is also there, and all are like struggling with the different kind of mental health issues among with their same age group people, with like other peoples, whether they are in 16 or 60 or 70s, and there are significant differences mental health and social media use across region, culture, and demographics also. Um so yeah, I just tried this article in a very basic and simple way, and it's a very short, so it could be very understandable by any people. And I just wanted to ask all of you if they can also want to read that. It would be great, and uh, that's what I like covered in this article about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Thank you, Megha. Thanks for explaining. And coming, there is another article came up. With one of our teammate, Meet Patel, has written this something related to the smartphone use intervention and leveraging the LLMs for mental health. Meet, are you in the call? Hello.
You can
Uh,
go ahead, Narayan.
yeah, I think. Yeah. So let me just open this.
No, not required. You can just also share your team list, how you have been divided the task among yourself.
Okay, I'll come back on this one later. But basically, on market research, we have like team, especially on the data collection and the market research, we have focused this week. So there are the team list I did not prepare yet, but I have people names on my mind. Megha, the significant contribution towards this, right? Like Megha and Meet Patel and Fahira, and there are a couple more involved in that. So and for data collection, the update is right. Like we are trying to reach most of the data is not available publicly. So we try to reach the author. We sent an email to give access to the data to continue further. Um, so yeah, that is a update right now, and I think we don't have project manager set for our team too yet, but I can discuss that separately with you, yeah, on that one.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So we can again switch to team one if they are ready with
Yep,
presentations.
I'm
sure.
ready.
I'll stop sharing just a second.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Narayan.
Yeah, thanks.
Is my screen visible now?
Is it?
Not, not yet.
No.
Hi Sadhu, I think your notes
Okay.
get lost.
Just a minute. Shared on.
Okay, then if not, we can go with again team three. Okay.
No, I'm ready. I
Okay.
don't know what's wrong. It's showing that it's shared from my side.
Or maybe other team member can share.
Okay. I'll ask one of my team members to share it.
Your
Just
screen is visible. Okay, so you can, if possible, but it's very blur. You can take help of your team member.
okay.
So
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
till then we can go with team three, and your team member can be ready in the meantime. Yes. Okay. So okay. It seems you are back. So you can go ahead, Rajwal. Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Well. So the agenda of this presentation is that we'll quickly go through what is the problem statement. Then you can see that what are the mental health issues that really arise from the social media, from the usage of the social media, and then uh, what are those categories and what categories we have selected, and what metrics we are using to measure these categories. So, but the problem statement is that we have to conduct the in-depth analysis that how the social media is impacting our mental health, right? So, what are the some of the mental health issues that can arise from the use, as stress, anxiety, depression, loneliness, and a low self-esteem, right? And we want to find out the pattern in this. So, so first of all, we wanted to do an analysis that is that really that using the social media, causes us in a negative, like have a negative impact. So there are most of the articles or most of the research papers have done very limited research on very limited population. So there isn't any conclusion from any of the research paper, but here I have or our team has selected the five parameters. What is the negative impact, what is the positive impact, what is the uh, you know that cyberbullying and the social comparison that people do. So what we have found is that in the research paper is that people using the social media excessively have the higher chances of the anxiety, depression, and the sleep disorders. So, and what are the positive impacts? That person with the very low self esteem might don't learn the content or don't learn the whatever the taught in the face to face interaction. So the social media is good for them. So it's very hard to conclude that the social media is having the bad impact. But from most of the research papers, it's not conclusive. But what we decided is that due to the social comparison, people feel very low self esteem. Then the role of the screen time, which disturbs our sleep pattern. Social media is also addictive for the user, most of the users. So we decided that it is causing in a negative way. So that's why we decided that yes, okay, social media is having a negative impact on our life. So, what are the some of the issues that can arise? Which is the attention span. Uh, uh, the blue light emitted from the devices causes us like disturbance at the night. So you might get deprived of the sleep. Then we could have depression, anxiety. We could have suicidal thoughts because of the use of the social media, not from because of other mental disorders. So stress, low esteem, and FOMO. So what are the some of the categories that we have selected? So first is the reduction in the attention span. So uh, uh, most of the users, on the social media are not like not uh, able to stay on one content for very long. So they just like they want to they're watching reels or TikTok, they just want to swipe up, swipe up, swipe up. So so there is a chance that they have reduction in the attention. They cannot learn the content for very long. If yeah, and then they have a depression, anxiety, and the FOMO. So, what metrics we are going to use to measure this the categories that we have selected? So, attention span is can be measured by the engagement metrics, that how user is quickly switching between the content. How user is, let's for example, most of you are familiar with the TikTok. So, how the users are switching between one TikTok to another TikTok. So that can be measured through the engagement metrics, but we'll talk about how it is difficult to measure. Then we have depression, FOMO, anxiety. So this categories can be measured or detected by the sentiment analysis or through LLMs. So there is a lot of research done by our team. So we'll not be giving the reference links here, but you can find those links in the report that we'll be sharing in future. So what is our proposed plan to collect the data? We will use the different APIs that we have. So Reddit API, Twitter API, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn APIs, right? So now here the Reddit APIs are one of the primary, uh, you know, uh, uh, social media platform from where we'll get the data, because the depression and anxiety are such thing that they have subreddits such as the r/depression, r/anxiety, from where we can get the data, like users are actually having the anxiety or depression or not. Because other social media platforms where, such as the Facebook, Instagram, uh, well, people sometimes don't know that they are having the depression, they are depressed, or they are having the anxiety, right? So it's very difficult to gauge that, okay, somebody is depressed or not. So again, at that point we might have to use the LLM to classify the Instagram post, that is a person depressed or not. But in the Reddit and the subreddit, in the, let's say, r/depression, the most of the people who are visiting this page are either going through the depression or in the pre-stage of the depression. So let's say we get that data and build our model based on that. It would be a really good use of the data, instead of classifying and relying on the classification of the LLMs. And so the problem that we might have is that the to measure the attention span, we don't have the user level data, that how the user has spent the time on each content. Let's say Instagram reel or YouTube shorts or TikTok, we don't have that user level data, that how the user has been engaging. So we might remove this category if we don't find the data. Otherwise, depression, anxiety, and the FOMO can be detected by the textual data that we have. So yeah, this is our plan. And so right now we don't have the individuals like plan who will be taking which role. So once we have defined those roles for each of the team members, then we will share the uh, Google Sheet with you guys, and maybe you can have a look. So now, do you have any questions, suggestions? We are open to questions. So yeah.
So yeah, yes, thank you, Santanu. So we expect you to show the, like, you should be having team segregated and each individual collaborators have been allotted a task so that we can monitor who is actually working on something. So we actually want to filter out the complete Slack group. So where we have 300 plus, we just want to make, as we have 150 collaborators right now in the meeting, right? So 150 or 200. So you do it as soon as possible and share the list.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Already we have created a G Drive where we have different folders of the teams. so you can look at it in that folders. Okay, I will be giving access and
Okay.
update your team list and collaborator list. So
Uh,
now we
yeah.
can, yes,
Basant raised his hand. So
yes,
yes.
Basant, go ahead. Basant, okay,
Maybe it was just
Yeah. Now, what happened?
yes,
Okay.
go ahead, Basant.
Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, how do you guys means, especially this is question to Prajwal. Prajwal, right?
Sorry.
You're Prajwal, right?
No, Shantanu.
Shantanu. Okay. I saw
Yeah.
Prajwal. Okay. Uh, Shantanu. Uh, you said you'll be collecting data from the Reddit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you classify the specific data is for the whatever the category you have chosen? How do you classify it? Whether you will get a classified data or you guys going to do it classification later when you collect the data?
Yeah. So for the subreddit, from the subreddit that let's say we have r/depression, that so most of the users coming on that subreddits are either in the pre-stage of depression or are going through depression. So we can do the classification with the help of the LLMs and or through sentiment analysis, but that would be expensive task. So we would just rely on the users visiting that page might be or posting on that subreddits are actually going through the depression. So depression, anxiety, there are subreddits, and for the FOMO we might not have uh, uh, the the subreddit, so we might have to go for the sentiment analysis or the classification through LLM. So we'll just for the FOMO, we it's just undecided right now that how we will. So first we'll collect the data, and then we'll decide how do we classify this tweets or the Reddit post or any post that other from other platforms. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can just take one more question and then go with the team three. Yes, Ahmad.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Shantano, for the presentation. I'm Ahmed Unshur, member of the third team, Team 3.
Okay.
The only thing that I wanted to say now is that regarding the users that come to the Reddit subreddits, they are not necessarily, you cannot say that they are having or they are facing some mental health problems. They might be, for example, someone who is trying to get information about a specific mental disorder because they are observing that one of their families is having, for example, mental health issues, although they might be students that want to learn about it. So I'm saying that because I think we need to think about the assumptions that we are putting in place, especially when we are trying to collect the data. Every person that is going to use or having an interaction with a specific social media platform about mental problems, they are not necessarily people that are facing these challenges. So I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yes, Ahmed, I get your question. So with that feedback in our mind, we'll just then get the data from the Reddit subreddits, and then we'll just classify the data with the help of the LLM. So that would be something that on the like common ground that or the truth that let's say ground truth we can say with the help of the LLMs that we are classifying. Then yeah, we can solve the that question that you have. That okay, classifying is the answer to that question. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
can add to wait. I can
yeah,
add
like
it.
Basant, we can move forward with open questions.
No. Just a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, this is important question. Yeah. See, whatever the Ahmad has raised is a question. It can be called as a false positive or an outlier. You cannot avoid those things in any ML problem. So you may either classify them wrongly, or you take it as an outlier, and they will be in your model. You cannot avoid them. The only way you can make sure that how to minimize them. That's it. Okay. Your goal is to make the model perform better and either classify or neglect those kind of a data points. So that's what the data engineering, or when you make your data processing, you have to make sure that you do properly. Okay. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what my, yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll
take
keep
on that one.
that in mind. Thank you, Basant, for your feedback. And Ahmed, yep. I would like to conclude my meeting presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Team 2. Team 3, you can go ahead. Yani, start presenting.
Hello, yeah. Hi. I hope my camera is good, no blurriness or anything like this. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Can I just quickly get a feedback whether or not this is visible or not?
Yes, visible. You can go ahead.
That's great. That's great. So I would just like to first start and just say I'm a lead for the product management for Team 3. It's me and my colleague Jyoti as well, which I believe she's in the call as well. She might jump in at some point. So yeah, we are Team 3 and we are developing currently. Sorry about that. We're developing a mental health chatbot, which our end product is going to be in the form of chatbot. Hopefully, we'll be able to provide support for any distressed individuals. So I'm just quickly going to go through that's how I summarized our slides. First, I'm going to present the effect on social media on mental health, and then mental health detection using machine learning, mental health, and our mental health selected categories, which we choose to work on, our team, the way how we're going to be collecting data, and just how our end product is going to look like. So there were quite a few papers I came across for the effect on social media on mental health. It's pretty conclusive and also inconclusive for the same time, the negative effect that it could be, but also like one of my colleagues here said earlier, some papers are also suggesting that it has a positive impact as well. Sorry, could you mute your microphone, please?
You can go ahead, Yani. You can unmute yourself.
You're muted, Jenny.
Sorry, is that okay now?
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you. I don't know what happened. So we have a negative impact on self-esteem coming from social media. Perloff has demonstrated that in a paper from 2014. Looking at social media, constant browsing, we're showing an idealized version of people that we keep seeing on our walls. We have this constant exposure of lives that may look perfect on the first instance, but they're actually not. However, that's psychologically that does affect us, and we're starting to constantly make comparisons between our lives and the lives of other people. Another one, which is a good one, I'm really sorry, but I can't pronounce the name of this gentleman, from 2013, is the fear of missing out. So the fear of missing out is a very interesting one, which I didn't know before I came to this project, but it really makes perfect sense. It's this constant cycle of making us want to be on social media and keep browsing. We feel like we have this anxiety that we're missing out on something, and this is why we keep coming back to the social media and we keep scrolling and scrolling in case we actually miss out on some sort of activity or some sort of events or anything that might affect us in one way or another. This results in a cycle of being constantly present on the social media app, whether or not we're talking about Facebook or we're talking about Instagram or other social media. I just want to mention that here I'm not just referring to Facebook, although it's a very popular one. My research compromises of all social medias. We have also very conclusive link to depression and anxiety by using social media. We have an increased number of suicidal cases by 57% between 2007, 2004, and 2017, right when Facebook came to its peak. That's a very large number, so it's quite conclusive. There is some impact that it's been negative. We're pointing out to people suffering from depression, and the interesting thing is all the users who are active on social media suffer from this depression and anxiety. The research has collected over 430,000 responses, and this is the National College of Health assessment in America found a significant link between the presence of Facebook and deterioration of mental health among college students. This is a paper from 2022, so fairly recent research. We have mental health detection using machine learning. So these couple of papers have been quite good. I have posted them also on our Slack channel for anybody who wants to have a look. So we have text analysis for sentiment and emotion. So we're using the LLM model to analyze written text, such as any social media or chat messages, to identify sentiment and emotions, something that we're intending to use here in this project. And also this one is from 2021, again, another very recent one. This research was a very interesting one. They're using a chatbot for mental health support, and in their research, they show a completely implemented machine learning model, which can be implemented in chatbots or all the services. Doesn't have to be chatbot, of course, that offers mental health support by engaging in natural language conversation. It provides assistance, it provides emotional support. I actually have it open right here, and I just quickly wanted to show for you the results that they actually came. They have age 13 to under 95.7% accuracy on autism and non-binary gender. So this model can achieve quite high accuracy. So the categories which we have selected for our project are four. Now we had a discussion. Why we selected anxiety and depression? Well, because we see that in most of our research papers, anxiety, depression among the most common one. Bipolar disorder, I wanted to go with this one, maybe because it's not very well known. I wanted to see if we can challenge ourselves. It can be a bit tricky to detect, but at the same time, I thought maybe we can go with bipolar disorder and ADHD, which has become very talked about topic recently, especially in younger people. So these are four categories, and also we are open to expand that eventually. We have a data collection team. I'm the team lead. We also with Chris as well. We don't have. I don't think I'm going to be the team lead as well. I'm with Chris at the same time because he's also quite experienced at the same time. So both of us are leads for that. For our four categories, we have different people who would like to contribute for this. We're going to be starting in a couple of days' time. No, we're actually going to be starting today, but in a couple of days' time, we're hoping to be having a nice, good data collected. We have a data pre-processing team. The lead is Abhishek. I hope I pronounced the names correctly, and Abebe as well. We have for task 1, task 2, and task 3. I think they divided their tasks depending on how they would like to pre-process the data. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong on that. And we have a model building team for which the lead is Alberto, and we have co-leads, which is Faith and Aya, and Abebe as well. We have a lot of collaborators for the model building as well. And they divided tasks based on who can contribute to what, and depending again on experience. For data collection, we have extracting separate data sets for each category. We will extract a large data in order to achieve better model accuracy. We haven't decided at the moment yet. Like somebody else said, Twitter can be limited using their API. The resources for our data will be either on Kaggle or other open data sets. We can use API, like not Twitter, X now. We have Reddit or TikTok. We have maybe other open sources by other organizations or questionnaires, textual content from social media related to mental health, our authorized data scrapping. So for data collection, we have some considerations which we need to take into account. So we need to take into account data and ethic and privacy and cultural sensitivity, approval, and also relevance as well. Whether or not what data we're going to collect, whether or not this is going to be relevant for each single mental health categories. And our end product, hopefully, it's going to look maybe something like this. So we're going to be collecting questions from each user in order to see whether or not our system will detect any sort of underlying conditions and how we can provide support. So we can engage in a set of questions at the beginning in order to determine any possible underlying conditions, to provide support, and to see. I wouldn't want to use the word diagnose here because this could be more.
Build house. You know, this kind of build house, even a 10 room self.
Again, I wouldn't want to use the word diagnose for this. It's probably going to be in a sort of providing any sort of support. And this is the references here for our market research. I have posted them also in our spreadsheet if anybody would like to have a look. They are quite useful. And yeah, we're open now for any questions if anybody have that. Thank you. This is the end of our slides presentation.
Yes, I mean, that's a great presentation. And yes, any questions for Yanni and team? Okay. Okay.
I would like to get a feedback if my colleague Jyoti is here as well, because she's also a colleague for our product management as well.
Okay.
Jyoti, you can unmute yourself if you're here. Sorry, there are just many people. I can't scroll for each one to see. Or anybody from team 3, it doesn't have to be Jyoti. No discrimination here.
Yes, go ahead, Shantanu.
Well, I have a question that you said that data will be collected from the questionnaires and the surveys. So, are those surveys, like after the usage of the social media taken out, like, or those people who are participating in the surveys, are they having the mental health issues because of the use of the social media, or from the from different, they can have the depression or anxiety because of their work life balance or because of something else? So how do you ensure that are those because of the social media?
Well, the thing is with social media, often when you find data like that, I don't think it's from people who already have an underlying mental health condition, because that could be quite private data. It may or may not be shared. This will probably be in the form of any questions. For example, do I have any mental health, or I think I may be having anxiety or something like this. I'm not sure if a person who's already been diagnosed with anything will be its data will be shared unless with consent, and I'm not sure this will be found on social media exactly. Actually, we've already found Chris. He assisted me. We found a very nice data from Hugging Face actually, and most of the keywords that we can extract and we can use, they are in the form of like questions. I can actually share a screen and I can show here quickly. Just a moment, please. So one of them that my colleague shared today is this one. It's nice rich data, which contains pretty much the words ADHD. For example, here, hi, Dr. Baki, do you have any advice on how to explain ADHD more significantly? For example, most of the data I'm coming across, at least personally, is in a form of like this. We are going to explore, and that this is our job for the next few days. We're going to explore and see what's all the sort of data are available there. I would just like to be cautious about the fact that this is a sensitive thing, and it's the data that we need to collect. It has to be, at least that's how I see it. It's got to be in a form like that because of the sensitivity around it, because of mental health issues. I hope that answers your question.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Annie. We can go ahead with team 4 presentation.
Okay, this is Tracy Greenwood. I am lead of data collection. I know Aksa just joined. Aksa, do you want me to proceed, or you came just in time? Would you like to share? Okay, I will share. She was in between. Oh, okay. Sorry, she was in between meetings, so I was the backup here. So let me just share a presentation. Let's see. In 1 second. Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, Tracy,
Yeah,
we
we
can
see
see
the
it clearly. Yeah.
Okay. So this is team 4. We're voting on a team name. I think that we might end up with Digital Detox, but we'll know later today. So, excuse me, our product manager is Aksa, and I am just speaking on her behalf for this presentation. And we've been meeting and came up with the following topics and categories that we want to focus on. So we want to be able to provide assistance for specific social media induced issues to a targeted age group, the young adults, the teen to young adult age group, for social media addiction disorder, cyberbullying induced PTSD, and social isolation. So the three, yep.
Okay, continue.
Want me to continue?
Yeah, Tracy, continue.
Okay. So the 3 problem statements are for social media addiction. They're interrelated, and they exacerbate each other. Social media addiction, as we all know, disrupts daily life. There's a whole slew of issues associated with it, but also cyberbullying is more prevalent as well when there are so many hours spent on social media, but it also induces post-traumatic stress disorder because of harassment that does cause trauma. And the third problem is, again, addictive use or excessive use of social media does lead to disconnections with relationships, loneliness, withdrawal from actual in-person beneficial relationships with family and friends, and so on. So our market research did demonstrate that as far as what classifies as social media addict, any usage over 5 hours a day is considered an addiction, and that teenagers can spend upwards of 9 hours on social media every day. So therefore, there is a lot of potential social media addiction out there, and that of those using social media, 60% of children are targeted by cyberbullies, as well as 40% of adults targeted by cyberbullies and antisocial behavior. As far as additional research, we conducted a research across a variety of subjects and landed on kind of these highlights. 210 million people worldwide are thought to suffer from social media addiction and addiction to the internet. And then according to the Cyberbullying Research Center, an average of almost 30% of middle and high school students report that they have been cyberbullied, and this is increasing over time. So this graph shows the light blue is the addiction rates, and the darker blue is the cyberbullying rates. So you can see by the different age groups where that the 18 to 29-year-olds are the most reporting to be the most addicted, up to 90% of social media, or they use social media of some kind. And then you can see the cyberbullying impact is higher amongst the 13 all the way up to the 29-year-olds, but still the older population is suffering from cyberbullying as well. And lastly, just some market research on social isolation. One of the sources was the National Library of Medicine, indicating that using social media can lead to a variety of impacts. One is, as I mentioned before, the loss of relationships or the deterioration of relationships, stress imposed into those relationships as well, and also missed educational and career opportunities and feelings of loneliness, which can contribute to additional mental health items. The data collection, we're really just getting kicked off, and we formulated the team I'll go to in a minute, but we do believe, as previous teams mentioned, we will be leveraging APIs from social media platforms. We did discover that the top 6 social media platforms that contribute to mental health issues are Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll be focusing on the text-based APIs. We thought we were going to start with Twitter, but I saw in this chat that it might be that the cost associated with that. And so we're still, as we work through the team, we'll come up with our solidified approach on where and how we'll start and which sites we'll use. And there's other options that we can decide upon too as we move forward with the team. You can see here Kaggle and other large data sets. Also scraping if we need to with permission. So as far as our teams go, we're divided as everybody else is into data collection, data pre-processing, and model building. I'm the lead for data collection. Amelia is on this call as well, and she is my co-lead and more like a lead as well. She's fantastic. And you can see some of our collaborators. We're getting together tomorrow, but I know folks are busy doing their research and weighing in. Our data pre-processing team is led by Dushyant, who's also on this call. Co-lead is Aritra, and you can see the collaborators there. Some collaborators have decided to participate across teams as well, and we believe data collection and data pre-processing will be working extremely closely together, especially with the tight time frame for this project. And the model building team is led by Vinyanyak, and he is on the call, and Afroza is co-lead along with numerous collaborators that we're appreciative of. And our approach will be just to level set that it's a very tight time frame, 4 weeks long for the project. So we're going to be working in parallel and very collaboratively. We have recurring meetings that the team leads will set up starting, they'll set them up today to start tomorrow. And going forward, the team leads will continue to meet on a recurring basis. And we will meet as an overall project team as well on Fridays. So that is what I had. Thank you for your time and any questions.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Tracy.
I said that is what I had. That is what we had. The AXA did the presentation primarily, so I apologize, AXA. That's what we have.
We can take questions at the end of the Team 5 presentation. So yes, Team 5. We can take questions after the end of the Team 5 presentation because we have extended like more than 1 hour, if not like. Okay, yes, Krishna, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Sorry, so for some reason it's not allowing me to share from my system. 1 second. Hey, Ankita, are you able to share the screen presentation?
Yeah, I'll try to.
Yeah, so for some reason it is not allowing me.
Is mine working?
Yes, the screen is visible. You can share the presentation.
Okay. I guess I hope Miriam is here.
Yeah, go ahead and present the screen share, then we can walk through it. I cannot see it. Are you sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now I can see it. Yeah. Can you bring it to the presentation mode or enlarge the screen?
Yeah, I guess this is it.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, you want to use maybe the bottom right, you see. So maybe that's, yeah, if you think that's the maximum, so that's perfect. Okay. Hi, I'm Krishna Kishore Gajal. I go by Kishore. I'm the product manager for Team 5. And Ankita also will be helping us with some of the PM activities on our team. Again, thank you, Ankita, for compiling this deck. Really appreciate it. So can you move to the next slide? Okay, so this is the agenda we're going to cover. The first one, we try to understand what's the mental health, what's the definition of it, and then we'll talk about what are the common mental health disorders, and then what is our areas of focus in terms of the mental health conditions that we're going to focus on. And then we'll talk about literature review, and then focusing on available solutions, what are the current limitations, and then what is our proposed direction. So with that, let's get it to the understanding of mental health. Mariam, can you go ahead and talk through the slide, please?
Yeah. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. Mental health encompasses a state of well-being where individuals can realize their abilities, cope with life stress, work productively, and contribute to their community. Good mental health enables individuals to cope with life's challenges and contribute positively. While mental illness marked by changes in mood or behavior can exacerbate chronic diseases, including diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, obesity, and many risk behaviors for chronic disease such as physical inactivity, excessive drinking, and insufficient sleep. So, in other words, if your mental health is poor, you may be at greater risk for disease and poor physical health. Thus, addressing mental health is crucial for overall well-being. Okay, let's see the impacts. Let's talk now about the impacts of social media on mental health on the next slide. So, social media has become ingrained in our daily lives, facilitating communication, social interactions, and community engagement. With people spending an average of 2.3 hours per day on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, concerns about excessive usage have arisen particularly among youth. So, research indicates a link between heavy social media use and lower psychological well-being. Although the quality of usage also plays a significant role in this. So, I'll leave you now with the common mental health disorders faced, and then after this, we'll talk more in detail on the issues that we will be delving on.
Great. So I'll just jump into a bit of statistics here. And I'll be presenting about the common mental disorders globally, and I will focus on what we'll be looking at as a team. So 1 in 4 people currently globally are affected by mental illness at some point in their lives. Next slide. If we look at it, according to WHO, 13% is the increase of prevalence of mental health problems per year. Currently, this is a study in 2021, there are about 300 million people who suffer from depression. This is regardless of culture, age, gender, religion, race, or economic status. Between the age of 15 to 29, so this is about the youth of the US, suicide is the 4th leading cause of death among those people. We also have 284 million people who suffer from anxiety worldwide. So this is just like a global health statistic first before we narrow down into social media statistics. And according to studies, this is likely to increase. And one of the factors that will contribute to this could be social media usage. Next slide. So this is a snippet of how much usage you have with social media. And this is through media such as media, text calls. You can see the number one media, the highest engagement is in Facebook, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram worldwide. Next slide. So according to an online survey that was done by a Polish data company, 58% of Americans report negative impact on mental health due to social media. 64% of the users experienced anxiety disorders from use of social media. 56% of the users experienced depression, which ideally they could link to having less emotionally satisfying electronic connections, leading to social isolation. 6% of the users perceive others' lives as perfect, contributing to self-esteem issues. 59% of users considered cyberbullying a significant concern in social media usage. And lastly, there was a study that was conducted in 2021 in the University in Southern California, where they tracked, over 2 years, they tracked high school students who had no previous symptoms of ADHD. But 2 years into the study, they had a 53% chance or likelihood of experiencing new symptoms of ADHD. So from all of this data that we got from our research, we ended up focusing on 4 areas of focus for our team. Next slide. So we'll be looking at depression, ADHD, it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, self-esteem, and anxiety disorders. I will now hand it over to my next teammate to talk about the literature review.
Yeah. So for the literature review, we looked for papers that are mostly focused on the use of LLMs to tackle these problems. And then we classified them according to the type of solution they offer. So, for example, the first one and the most used one is the conversational agents. In mental health support, they offer broad assistance rather than targeting specific disorders. Also, we found some solutions that engage directly with individuals seeking support, acting as personal digital companions, while others cater to specialized applications like couple therapy. Some studies also focused on aiding care providers by offering recommendations and analysis. And certain approaches involve developing screening tools to identify urgent cases and differentiate emotional experiences among individuals with various personality disorder subtypes. We also have another widely used use case is for resource enrichment. So LLMs can be used to provide explanations for multitask analysis and develop educational content. This was found that like adolescents and children are most benefits the most from this type of chatbots that are for resource enrichment, and it includes creating creating case vignettes relevant to social psychiatry and personalized psychoeducation materials for professionals to help them master better and understand these concepts in a better way. There is also a widely used use case. It's sentiment detection and analysis. It's the detection of psychological constructs, mental state, and for example, also suicide risk through social media content. This has become increasingly important for early diagnosis and prevention of adverse consequences related to user psychological states. We also mentioned we also included the links to the papers that discuss these use cases and deployed solutions for this matter. I also want to mention the two other use cases that are not really widely known, but are becoming increasingly I mean, these are increasingly being used. For example, wearable devices and behavior monitoring. In this type of case, LLMs can effectively analyze psychological and behavior time series data with minimal tuning. This capability extends to tasks such as cardiac signal analysis, physical activity recognition, metabolic calculation, and stress estimation using data from wearable and medical sensors, like a watch or some types of devices. And also the last one is for simulating social networks. This is also not widely known, but it's becoming more and more. Researchers are more and more interested in this field. It's LLM-driven simulations that can aid in predicting trends, behaviors, and outcomes within social media networks, offering a glimpse into how certain interventions or changes may impact the dynamics of online communities. For example, a paper that I included here conducted a study exploring the behavior of LLMs within a simulated social network. They designed a Twitter-like platform called Chirper that's populated only by LLMs. Their analysis revealed evidence of self-organized homophily in the system, demonstrating patterns that resemble human social tendencies. So such models could enhance the comprehensive understanding of human social dynamics in social scientific research. So that's it from my part. I think we can move to the next slide.
Yeah, Victoria.
Yes, well, let's explore some solutions to address those selected mental health problems, which we are concentrating. Next slide, please. Next. Yeah, so among the solutions to address depression, I don't understand why depression is not loading. Previous slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So for among solutions to address depression, I want to mention those which are about updating the society itself. So cyberbullying and policy and regulations is intended to change the social media platforms for better, and the individual who is already suffering from depression or some very close symptoms, they can limit their social media use and update their lifestyle. Also, it's important to ask for professional help and develop positive thinking. LLMs can help with those, but you can always you have to always be sure that you are reaching professional help. Next slide, please. So among solutions to address ADHD, the most important ones are reaching professional help as soon as those symptoms are developing, getting prescription and some non-prescription medications, getting some remedies, getting therapy, which comes from professional help. But it's also important to reach to your support, to your family, to your peers, and LLMs might help reducing social anxiety of the person, reducing the stigma, maybe helping to draft some messages for all these people to contact them. Next slide, please. So for self-esteem issues, it's important to do self-reflection, to stop compare yourself to others, as much as possible to be assertive, to learn how to say no in the situations which you have to do so, in addition to previous measures which intend to make your lifestyle better. Next slide, please. For anxiety disorders, it's also important, just like in case of depression, to get a better society in that social media platforms the person is using, to stop using those platforms or limit the amount of bullies, upgrade policies, upgrade regulations. And also for all of these disorders, it's most important to reach professional help. Next slide, please. So there is some common moments between all these mental health issues we decided to focus on. So the first thing would be incorporating healthy habits. The second thing would be building stronger real-life relationships, socializing. It's also important to get professional help. It's important to be more mindful about social media. It's important to meditate, and also to have a group which is supporting you. LLM might help you to reach some professional help and join these groups by creating some better ideas how to contact with people, by creating some drafts how to better meet, how to better socialize. And also LLM chatbots can be your coach on how to achieve better lifestyle and how to monitor yourself. Next slide, please. So among those measures which are intended to make entire online environment better, there are some which LLM can be also useful, LLM chatbots. LLM chatbots can educate people on how to better use social media, on how to use it more mindfully. It can even educate cyberbullies on how to get productive, maybe get new hobbies and stop harassing other people. Because sometimes there is one person who is annoying everyone else on some social media platform or group. And then if that one person is getting educated, everything is becoming better. Also, for creating better policies and regulations, we can always brainstorm with LLM chatbot. Sometimes it might hallucinate, sometimes it may create a good idea. Next slide, please. Yeah. So there is a plenty of LLM-powered applications and chatbots for fixing mental health issues, which are caused by social media specifically. We found for sure more than 100 of those. There is mostly those which do either coaching or some kind of therapy or claim to do behavioral kind of therapy. But it's always important to mention that the chatbot, even if it's created by a therapist, it has all the problems which LLM chatbot might have, which will the next person explain about. Thank you.
Yeah, Vijay, you want to go ahead?
Thank you. Hi everyone. I'm here to present about limitation for existing solutions, which our team has collected. About limited emotional intelligence, it is about understanding about the address about real human emotions. That was one of the issues which we found. And second one is ethical responsibility and accountability. It is like due to some regulations, it cannot provide personalized care, something like that. And third one is inability to adopt individual needs. Whatever the products available in the market, they follow the standardized protocols and algorithms, and they cannot adopt the specific needs, preference, and different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and lack of next one is lack of training and expertise. That means it is one of the chatbot. It has given the bad recommendation. I mean the wrong recommendation and bad judgments, like eating disorder. It given is how to take a diet, something like that. And the last one is flexibility and adaptability. It is like it can't modify the treatment plans according to the patient. I mean, mental health issue to patients. And it cannot take the alternative approaches and get some new strategies like that. These are some of the limitations which we found. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay. Can you go to the next slide, Ankita? Yeah, go to the next slide. So in the interest of time, I'll quickly walk through the next few slides. Can you go to the next slide, Ankita, please? So basically, our next focus areas will be meeting daily from tomorrow onwards. I think our next focus is, so we have narrowed down the areas of focus, areas of mental health conditions that we would be looking at. So our first immediate focus would be understanding what are the key metrics that we need to measure, and also what are the data requirements that we need to consider. And the second phase is about data collection and preparation. So this is where we haven't brainstormed in terms of what are the data sources that we would be looking at. So that would be our phase 2. That would happen basically in the next week. Sorry, later this week, I would say. So collect the data and then probably annotate it and pre-process, clean the data, and also removing any personal and sensitive data. And then next phase would be focusing on analysis, model development, and training. This is where we would focus on model building. That includes sentimental analysis or correlation analysis and classification models, and also we'll be looking at LLM and RAG for the context understanding. And the next phase would be our chatbot development. This is where we would focus build an LLM-based chatbot where that's empathetic, and also build voice interaction capability if the time permits. And this is where we will train the chatbot with this special data that is focusing on these 4 conditions that we have chosen. And then also improve the chatbot accuracy, responsiveness, and also based on the feedback, make iterative improvements on the chatbot. Can you go to the next slide, please? So then next, the remaining 2 phases would be your testing and refinement of the chatbot, and then evaluation and deploying it, and making sure keeping the ethical and ethical and responsible UI aspects, making sure the model is not biased to a specific class of user population, etc. And can you go to the next slide, please? So our final deliverables, I think, based on the requirements, is again making sure we have a data set that's been curated and annotated based on the focus areas of mental health categories and LLM-based chatbot, and also implement intervention strategies and evaluation recommendation pipeline in the chatbot. And our goal is to make this overall experience more fun learning experience. And the hope is that the participants on this team would get experience in LLM, RAG, and prompt engineering, and the ML models, correlation analysis, sentiment analysis, and semantic search, vector embeddings, and also how to build being ethical and responsible aspects. So can you go to the next slide, please? So this is where we are yet to fully form the team yet. So I'll be the product manager, and Ankita also will be helping us some of the PM activities. And we have identified the lead for data collection, data pre-processing, and model building. we are still yet to finalize all the contributors. So we have talked about meeting on daily basis and forming the team structure and some communication channels to help facilitate this. Okay, I think that concludes. Again, thank you, Ankita, for compiling this deck and again, trying to facilitate this slide navigation. Really appreciate it. So I think back to you, Akia, and also to the group if you guys have any questions or feedback.
Thank you, Kishore. So before going to the questions, okay, I will start sharing screen and show what you actually need to do in terms of adding the documents or the list, right? So, okay, I hope the screen is visible right now. Is the screen visible?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I have already shared the repository, the Google Drive folder for each team. Okay. So there are a bunch of folders within each team: data collection, pre-processing, market research document, and meeting links. So you can add your project documents, notebooks in these folders, and meeting recordings you can upload here. So the team lead have access to this folder. Let's see. I have given for team leads, right? Yes, team leads have given the access, and you can the leads or the product manager can give the access to individual co-leads and leads of the given task. Also, update the team list in this document. We have first sheet. Okay, so the leads, you can add the leads detail. The next sheet, collaborators, add the task name, collaborator name, and what he is working on. And then you can also add your resources exactly in terms of your meeting links, Notion link, right? Anything which is required, you can add here. Finally, coming to Notion, just a minute. So each team can update their updates in Notion, okay, in terms of their task and all in team updates, team 2, team 3. So we have already created folders for each team. So go through that and update it. And then for PMs and leads, we will give you access to the Trello board. Okay. So just a minute. We'll share the access to the PMs and leads. Okay. So Trello board where you can create some task, what actually you are working on for data collection, pre-processing. So you individually manage. No need to add everyone, right? So there PM can have and few leads can be part of Trello board to just monitor what exactly is going on in a larger picture. So we'll be connecting in the coming week. So in 2 or 3 days after with the leads and PMs to get more details and to see how they can exactly work with their team. So now we have open questions with all the teams and all the collaborators. Go ahead.
I have a question for Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Great presentation. I really enjoyed it. Just one question about data collection. Have you guys settled on size of data? Do you have anything in mind? What sort of size data are you looking for now? Oh, that's
I should thank you. I should say thank you. Great presentation on your end as well. Very impressive by the teams and your team. No, we have not. We're going to rely a lot on our collaborators, and they're engaging now. They're getting up to speed now. And our first data collection team meeting will be tomorrow. So we're going to hear out what they have to say and then proceed from there. So we'll know a lot more by next week.
Thank you very much. That answers it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So it's mental health is not a simple topic. Like it's a very broader topic. It affects each individual beings. So for some people it will be temporary. For some people it will be permanent. That actually damages their in terms of overall holistic approach. So okay, and also while building this chatbot, right, it able to give some kind of suggestions what exactly the mental health problem he's dealing with. But you can also give some kind of suggestion to just chill, relax. You just feeling that sense, and you go roam or like do cycling or do gym or try to get some exposure of the nature, right? So where you can eliminate those what you're actually feeling in terms of these mental health problems. So just show some kind of feedback or solution, a simple solution, natural solution. Okay, so like set goals, try to optimize yourself, track your daily activities, and see how exactly you are being in terms of rabbit hole. So see your goals, see your daily work patterns, are you actually fulfilling or not. If not, then you just need to set up your cycle to be changed. So give some ideas, set up ideas, and create some kind of task to the user, so they can try to alter their mood, behavior, and then when they come back on the app, right, so just again monitor what exactly they are doing right now. Do they have those problems or not? Yes, Krishna.
I think you touched upon it here that cross collaboration is key, because that way all the teams, right, it's not a competition between the teams. I think that basically we can collaborate with all the cross leads and help each other in terms of if one team has got stuck with something, where we can see how others have resolved it, and we can share the knowledge and help each other. I think that cross collaboration is the key. I know you mentioned that you would be setting up a call with the cross leads and etc. So we'll be looking forward to it. But again, on the leads and the PMs, product managers on this call, let me know if there is a best way for us to collaborate, so that our goal is each of these teams to be successful.
Yes, we also have a dedicated group for product managers and leads, team leads. So to collaborate and to discuss their individual work. Also setting up every week meeting with leads, PMs, and all. So Basant or any else who is there? Okay. Yes, Ahmad.
Hello.
Yes.
I hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Thank you all for the team members. To give a little bit of context, I have a background in psychology. Because my name is Ahmed Unshor, and I have a background in psychology and also in data science, and I have an interest in the psychology of technology. And when given the topic or the project title, Understanding Global Mental Health Well-being, Fear of Missing Out in Social Media, you can understand that it is a very big topic that covers a wide range of subtopics, issues, problems that relate to social media and mainly on mental health. I have a number of points. Some of them are already mentioned in the meeting. The first thing is that we have to consider when we are collecting the data, the contexts, especially the social and cultural context that can influence the type of data. To give an example, for let us say users that use social media platforms that live, for example, in Europe are totally different from those that live, for example, in Africa, those that live in other regions. These are just examples that I'm taking now. And also cultural differences, language differences, even religion, and also the demographic factors that can affect how people ask and what they write about, what they search about mental health on social media. These
Yes.
are the two things. The third one, I think we've already mentioned, the ethical considerations and the scrutiny that we have to put in place to make sure that the data that we are going to use to train our models are not biased. Yeah. So
Yes. So yeah, individual who are collecting the data, they have their own bias while collecting, right? Individual bias, and also there is a larger topic on nature versus nurture. So and what is meaning of life versus what actually individuals want in terms of life, right? In terms of materialistic or anything. So it's just yeah, it's up to marketing. Every company is doing marketing, businesses, products. So they want to just sell it. They are producing. So in order to sell it, the market aggressive marketing will be done on different platforms and shows that the product is very 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 good, and the user actually require the product in order to show that he is actually worth it. Like he, that product make his valuability in social aspects, right? So but actually not the case. Everyone is trying to make some themselves better in reality by showcasing these different products. But yeah, in order to achieve all these things, they are getting pressure, they are getting depressed, and all the things are coming up in the pipeline. So yeah, it's all part of human life that cannot be underestimated. If we can just close the meeting before that, Baswan, you can add some conclusions here.
Yes, I may take a little bit of time. Sorry for that. Uh, all the team presentations were very good, and I really appreciate all the team members who have involved in the work. And I would like to point few things over here. One is while doing a data collection, make sure that you collect the relevant data. It is well known fact that if you have more data, doesn't mean that your model will be good. If you have a good data, your model will be good. So it's a well-known fact, and make sure that you do that one. Sometimes people see that, or people think that if I have a large amount of data, I'll do better. It's just a statistical effect. So it should be able to answer or cover all the areas which you are thinking. And also don't focus on many uh, health or mental problems like the ADHD, anxiety, and all those things. Try with one thing. If it works well, then go for the second one and go for the third one based upon the time you guys have. Because if you want to cover everything, then you may not end up doing even one thing. So, because building a model from the uh, data collection till the model is a big task, or it's a time consuming task. Starts with one thing. Let the model building team start to work with the data you guys have collected, and let them see what are the problems they are facing, and then the deployment team will know what are the problems they are facing, and then you guys can reiterate back, and when you take the second problem, you guys know what to expect, or what is the real problems underlying, so that you guys will know how to go with the second one. That's the second thing. And also, when you guys have seen, most of the people are, when they are presenting the facts, they are very good in the papers. The facts are mentioned very well. The problem is, when you want to build a model, you need the data. You don't get the data. So you have the actual way. Like if you read the papers very carefully, these mental health papers are written by an experts, and they carefully analyze each problem. So if you have to read really carefully, how did they analyze and what are the basic parameters they have identified to give a conclusion. And we are not building a chat gpt. Like chat gpt is a good chatbot. If you throw a question at it, it will answer it because it has a large data bank at it, and from that it will pick it up and it will answer. We are not building that one. We are building a specialized narrow chatbot which has a specific domain knowledge, based upon which it has to do some conclusion like reasoning. See, normally chatbots are not good for a reasoning. If you take any of the assessment, or if you have read some of the papers, they say that, or even if you take the most of the chatbots, put it on the mathematical problems, they don't do good. And even their values, even for chat GPT 4, it is 54. It's very bad. Like you cannot like not 80, it's 54. So they are very bad at reasoning and logic. So what you guys are teaching is that you ask a question, you don't uh, you are not going to give a solution to a problem here. You ask a question, get back the answer from the user, analyze the answer, and then reiterate on that problem and ask the next question. What should be the next question? It should be like a tree structure where you start with something and then it follows the conversation. During that conversation, you will identify what kind of a problem the person is really underlying. So it's just based upon a engine running in the back end to analyze the answer given by the candidate or the person, and is it each question is showing some kind of a sign of a um, specific problem underlying it. And also there can be a second type of a approach where the you guys are thinking like social medias. So social medias have a specific way of doing the approach. Like, see, when I make a chatbot, it can be an assessment engine, or it can be a real interactive or identification engine. Assessment and identification are different. Like, identification is just, if you give a text, it will say whether it's good or bad, or it is having some sign of that one or not that one. That's it. That's the identification. So given text, it identified it. This kind of approach is only good for the chats which are posted on the social media like a Facebook or Twitter. Why? Because there they want to see that certain kinds of a post followed for a person having a typical sign of that kind of a signature, so that they can either block him or give a or identify it as this one, or like whatever the social media want to do with that one, because we are not the handlers of that one. But while our thought is not just the identification, it's beyond identification. You identify it and you assess it. Assess is like you take the depth of it, rather than just, okay, he is having anxiety. Okay, that's not the part of. We are not going to start at that point. Stop at that point. We are going a level beyond that one. What is the level of anxiety he has? Okay, he has having a level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4, and then how do we resolve that problem? What are the approaches? You guys have really made that research how to solve those problems also. See, we stop at the level assessment, and solution we can take it for the next what is that next project, because that's again a domain of research by itself. How do you solve a problem, and how do you give a solution to a problem? Because you have to understand the problem first. This is the project main goal, and then it is very higher level or very minimal level. We try to say these are the possibilities, and we stop at there, because the
Yes.
timeline of the project is limited. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that's what my thought came, because I saw all the presentation and I saw that they may not see. This is why I said, because you guys should not be get off track while doing the project. It's quite common, and I want you to be in this track and this mindset that this is our goal, and the product or whatever we are trying to build has this should be the mental view, so
Yes.
or picture we should get. Yeah,
Yes.
thank
Thank you,
you.
Vasant. Yes, thank you, Vasant. Hopefully, we'll be having only 1 hour meeting from next weekly meeting, where we'll giving dedicated time of 5 to 10 minutes for every team, and they can go ahead. And finally, we'll have 10 minutes of Q&A session. So, as said, we'll be having 3 weeks for completing the till the model building task. Final week only for deliverables, project report, demo, and consolidation of code. So that's it. And yeah, thank you all for joining today. So if possible, if you can come on camera, we can just take a screenshot. Also, we have a blogs and article channel in Slack, where you can write articles on this topic, share on social media, LinkedIn or Medium articles, share it on the platform or LinkedIn page. So not LinkedIn page, Slack uh, blogs and article channel. Okay. So that's good to go. Most of okay. We only have 4 participants. Yeah, I feel better with Zoom, so it's not that much perfect here. Yeah, hopefully we covered. We had more participants in the meeting, 150 plus. Yes, so expecting the team list this week, by end of this week, so that we can filter the complete set of group. And yeah, then go ahead. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
so much.
hello. Okay, they left. Okay.